Wow, what an honor. Mark waited a long time for this. And thanks to our friend, Jack Frost, the former sports information director at Winthrop, Mark found out before he passed that he was being inducted. Jack called and he said, "You can't tell anyone." Swore us to secrecy. And so, true to form, Mark told everyone. He was absolutely thrilled. He was hired in 1989 and coached softball and volleyball for 6 years. The job was thankfully split, and he was able to focus on softball. And focus he did. As I'm sure you've read in the program, he was quite successful. We have quite a large family. We have many daughters, one of whom is here tonight, Carrie Moore, that you saw on the screen. She did a great job. She was very excited she didn't have to get up here and say it. And just, they were part of our lives, all of them. We had them for Easter dinner because there was always a softball tournament Easter weekend and they couldn't go home. And so they would come to our house and we would have 23 people. We moved one weekend on Saturday, and on Sunday we had 23 softball players for Easter dinner at our house. We had quite a contingency of Canadians on the team for a few years, and found out that there is such a thing as Canadian Thanksgiving. It's in October, in case you need to know. And so we started the tradition of Canadian Thanksgiving. And of course, Mark loved that because then he got 2 Thanksgiving dinners, and what could be better than that? He was the winningest coach in Big South Conference, and that's something that he was very proud of, and he should have been. But winning wasn't his main focus. His main focus was making sure that each one of those young women were good humans, that they worked hard, that they earned their grades, and if they didn't, they went to study hall for a long time. He has one former player who talks about her study hall purgatory. He had a saying that I've had a lot of players tell me about, and it was his FAT attitude. It was family, academics, and then team. I've had many players who have told me stories about when they had a family crisis, and they would go to him and tell him, "Hey coach, this is what's happening," and he would say, "Go, go." It didn't matter. It didn't matter if it was Big South. It didn't matter if it was conference game. He would just tell them, "Go. What can I do to help?" And that was the guy that he was. As far as academics, he had 4 different players that were named COSITA College Sports Communication Academic All-Americans. A total of 6 were made. Lisa Kingsmore was named 3 times. These 6 academic All-America selections are the most by any program in Big South history. His players earned 11 COSITA College Sports Communicators Academic All-District Team selections and 18 Big South All-Academic Team selections, with 4 of them going on to be named Big South Conference Scholar Athlete of the Year. Overall, he had 41 NFCA All-America Scholar Athletes. There were 3 Arthur Ashe Sports Scholar winners. Winthrop is the only school in league history to have players selected. In addition, Winthrop Softball is the only program with an NCAA Woman of the Year finalist, Geneva Willis. And Geneva was a very special daughter. And sadly, she lost her life in a car accident. After she graduated, she was working to raise money for a foundation that she had started to help underprivileged children. Geneva was also inducted in the Big South Hall of Fame posthumously in 2018, joining Hall of Famer Lisa Kimmy Rayo in the class of 2003. Mark was not only a coach, but a teacher. My older son Seth was working in the team room during a game when Mark stormed in and told him, "Print off page 42 of the rule book and bring me a highlighter." He knew the game inside out, and he wouldn't hesitate to educate an umpire who should need some schooling. Brett Redden, who's here tonight, had this to say about him. One thing I always found interesting is that in 2007 and 2008, Winthrop was voted on by the other league head coaches as the winner of the Team Sportsmanship Award in the Big South. Very rarely do you have a team winning back-to-back championships and still considered the team with the most sportsmanship at the same time. That is who Mark Cooke was. He left quite a legacy at Winthrop University and in the Big South Conference. And I'm so pleased to be able to accept this honor on his behalf. Thank you so much.